Hi everybody, Kerrie here at the North East Autism Society, and I'm joined by David Jones from the Life Science Centre in Newcastle. How are you, Davy?
I am not too bad, Kerrie. Not too bad at all. And how are you?
I'm good. Yes, I'm good. I can't complain. So, me and Davy, this week is Mental Health Week, and the focus really of Mental Health Week this year is all about kindness, if people have seen any stuff going out on social media and things. And me and Davy just really wanted to pop online to have a little bit of a discussion about how we support our young people's well-being when we do some of the groups that we do at the centre. We thought that'd be really kind of an interesting discussion. So first of all, I just want to just be useful to give you a little bit of context to why me and Davy are here on the film together. So I think 2 years ago, Davy, was it?
Just over 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I met Davy 2 years ago at the centre, and he was embarking on a mission really to develop a group of young autistic people that could come into the centre and look at what they were doing really around accessibility and particularly for autistic people. And what has happened from then is we have a lovely group of around 5 young people that meet monthly at the centre, and we also have a science club as well that runs. So I've summarised that really simply, but there's been so much happened, hasn't there, Davy? Like, we wouldn't even have the time to discuss the journey. That's probably for another video. Yeah, it's been a real journey. So really what we were going to talk about is the well-being in that group. I think, Davy, what would you say because obviously we meet monthly at the centre with the young people, what do you think are the key ingredients that we have in that group to make people feel safe and emotionally well?
Well, I think one of the things that we've done is we've tried to create a pattern that the young people have found comfortable with. So we start off, they always try to start the meeting off at the same location. We start off with the same entrance. So we start the meeting usually, or the event usually, with the young people putting their name up on the board to say who's here that day. And then also if we have any guests, if somebody else from the Centre for Life who isn't normally part of the group, they're also encouraged to write their name up on the board as well. And it's kind of a way of saying you're now part of the team, and to make them feel comfortable with that. So that seems such a small step, but it's so powerful. Also, if the young people that day, when they arrive, they're already carrying all the anxiety they've had from being at school that day, it seems to be an opportunity for us to understand that and to see that in itself, because if they're very reluctant at that day, that moment, to come up and write their name on the board, then it helps us to see where they're at without actually saying, are you having a bad day today? Because it allows us to help and support them to make it with their own sort of their own welfare and to be comfortable. So maybe that day we have to be just a bit more mindful of the tensions that person has in their life, and it's just helpful to that kindness. It seems small, but it's actually huge. It's about building up trust and respect, and being able to kind of kid each other on a bit. So the young people might put something on the board that says, my name's David, obviously, so David isn't here today. So they have to laugh at each other, and then they're just basically saying, I'm in good form today. So that's a nice thing to do.
Definitely, and I think them words, Davy, are so key, aren't they? Trust and respect. And I think that builds into well-being around having positive relationships in the young people's lives. And I think we have become them positive relationships. They have relationships with us as the adults of the group, but also together as a group of young people. I think we know that it's been really lovely to see them young people making friendships within the group.
Yeah, because often people say that autistic children find it difficult to make friendships and relationships, and we've seen that time and time again as the young people have got more confident of each other and more used to each other. Where if somebody's not there, they've said, where is this person? What's wrong with them? Are they not well? They've actually showed that care and kindness for each other. They've identified things. They don't do that because it'll upset such and such. You can see the relationship and the kindness. And I think probably it's become really, really clear since we've gone into lockdown with COVID-19. So we've all been working from home, and we've been in a situation where the young people haven't been able to come to the Centre for Life and have these activities. But the parents created a group behind the scenes, a closed family network group, for us to engage with the young people and to see their faces where they could see each other, and to allow each other to show each other their houses. So, for example, one of the boys loves trampolining, and the first thing he did is he took the phone outside and showed everybody his trampoline, and he went on his trampoline and he did some activities on his trampoline. Real magic stuff that was allowing them to see each other's life, and they were so proud of that. And this is what they wanted to show their friends, and they wanted to show us because we are their friends too.
Definitely, yeah. And I think, Davey, some of the stuff we've done online, which we wouldn't have done if we weren't in this situation with COVID-19, I think that's been so powerful. I mean, just having that connection. So, meeting, we meet weekly, don't we, every week, and we do a little Zoom call, which can be difficult to manage sometimes because everyone wants to chip in at the same time, which is brilliant. But I think the young people having that connection, certainly what I've seen is young people in the beginning that might have been like, oh, what's this? I'm kind of half off the screen. I don't want to get involved in that. To then a couple of weeks in, sitting without mum and chatting and just engaging. And I think if we think about well-being for that group of young people, they can be quite socially isolated. They can feel very disconnected from the world already before COVID-19. So I think giving them that opportunity has been so powerful to have that connection with their group of friends. It's with their community, isn't it? Which is vital. I mean, community is everything, isn't it, really?
It is. And it's also funny how one thing spirals to another. So you recall that you and I started off by asking, as part of the group, I said, here's a science fact today. Did anybody know this? And then you and I started to make a couple of really short science kind of films, just wee activities. And from that, it's created, a much bigger thing, a much more professional engagement. It's allowed us to create some proper science-based films for young people, specifically autistic young people. And this is to try to create some activities for them to do at home, which clearly supports the welfare and the well-being at a time where we know that people just cannot get out to do the things that they normally would do. We're, as two organisations, really conscious that we want to support people. And at this time, at Mental Health Awareness Week, it seems such a powerful thing to actually reflect back on and say, actually, without setting off to achieve that outcome, that's exactly what we've done.
We have, yeah. And I honestly think it's been so powerful because, all our lives are turned upside down at the minute. The world as we know it, our norm, whatever that is, has been changed. We've all had to adapt to a different way of working. And obviously for autistic people that already find the world difficult and unpredictable anyway, I think what we've been able to do is put a little bit of consistency in there, which is really key. So every Friday they know that we will show up regardless of whatever's going on. And again, that links back, doesn't it, Davey, I think, to trust, to them trusted relationships that they know we will be there by hook or by crook, we will be there. Yeah, I just think that's so powerful around emotional well-being, just knowing you've got that connection with other people and knowing that you've got them trusted people in your lives. And also I think, we're talking a lot about the young people here, but for the parents as well, I think, parents are trying so hard at the minute to keep everything ticking along. They might be having to do schoolwork at home, something, they've never had to do before. So I think for them as well, seeing our faces every week, I think has been really useful for them, hasn't it? It's like, oh, there's a friendly face, somebody that gets it. And of course, the parents seeing the other parents as well is vital.
Yeah, and I think that's probably when we set off in the journey 2 years ago, that was certainly one thing that at the Centre for Life we didn't expect at all, was to see the power of the conversation of the parents coming together. Mm-hmm. And how they were isolated and vulnerable, and how good it was for their own well-being, that suddenly they had somebody to sit down who also had autistic children or autistic partners, and they were able to talk about their experiences. And probably they were able to do this for about an hour roughly. And when it would come to the end of the sessions, we would be having to send out a search party to get the parents to come back to get the children, because they were enjoying each other's support. And mental health, it can't be undervalued, the difference it's made to everybody. And obviously, if the parents feel more comfortable, then that rubs off as well on the children, because they get the support from it too. It's not to be underestimated that the pressure that families are under, and in this particular time, it's absolutely huge, the pressure that families are under. So if we can create some activities that help to support people's well-being, that can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely, Davey, brilliant. Yeah, so we will keep doing that. We're going to be doing more videos and more weekly updates with our groups. But yeah, I think that was a really useful chat. Davey, I mean, I suppose just to end on, we're all at the minute trying to make sense of this new way of living, you know, this temporary way of living. For you personally, if you think about your own well-being, are there any strategies that you have implemented for yourself during this time, just to make life a little bit more consistent and better?
Well, I'm in a fortunate position that I have a garden, and I've certainly allowed myself the luxury of going into the garden, for example, to have my tea break or my coffee break, because it's in my environment, and I've allowed myself to take that step out to look after my well-being. So I think that's been quite important. The other thing, I'm just going to reach out to part of my desk here. So I play the bagpipes, and this is my practice chanter. So one of the things I've allowed myself to do is to concentrate a bit on a hobby that I have. And it's allowed me to take my mind to a different place and just to relax and unwind a bit. Which is always a good thing to do. So whether you're reading a book, or you're playing a musical instrument, or you're building a spaceship, or whatever it happens to be, just to allow yourself the space to do what you think's good for you is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Taking time to do things that are important to you, regardless of what other people presume are important to you. I mean, I've got this little guy, he's still sitting on my knee, so he's been a great stress reliever. You know, walking the dog is something I find particularly therapeutic. So I've been doing a lot of that, obviously, you know, within government guidelines. But yeah, I think just taking time, and I think one of the things I want to end on as well, I've spoke to a lot of parents recently that are getting quite stressed and upset, actually, because they've been given a lot of schoolwork and things like that to do. And that can be really difficult, trying to get your child to do schoolwork at home when they're not used to it, and they're adapting to a new norm as well. I think one of the things I just wanted to mention is I think it's about taking the pressure off yourself a little bit, and actually remembering that people's emotional well-being at this time is the key, isn't it? That is the important thing. We're all in this together. It's small steps every day, and we just keep going and try and take a bit of that pressure off yourselves. So folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm sure me and Davey shall see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.